Still messing with the camera settings. Just going to chat for a little bit in a minute. Nope. I want to give you guys something to look at, not just... Is that more gooder? That's not more gooder. Can you please work? Can you please work? This isn't exactly what I wanted. Give me 1 second. That's not, I want this. How do I get this? Let's see. No. 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 I need this. This. No. I need a smaller book. Bear with me 1 second. All right, bear with me 1 second. I'm still messing with the camera. I need a smaller book so I can prop up the webcam. I want it to be on this little sand sculpture. So you guys have something to look at. Of course, it's not working. All right. Like, what is wrong with you? Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay. All right. So as I start off every video, I'm going to put out a PSA. I guess you would call it a PSA. Some people do. God, this thing is just not working. Some people do a PSA for, missing kids, or, the event of the day or something. I'm going to put out a notification for a request for information for my uncle, Charles Pancheri, who was murdered in October of 2011 in Elizabeth, New Jersey. He was found in his home, most likely a robbery gone wrong. And I don't think the people that broke in expected him to fight back, but he did. And he succumbed to multiple stab wounds and was found on the kitchen floor of his home in Elizabeth, New Jersey. If you have any information, there is a $5,000 reward. It is a cold case right now until they receive more information. They would be willing to reopen it and take a look at it. You can call Crime Stoppers and report with any information that you might have. I'd really appreciate it. The sand sculpture has been working perfectly for days and days and days, and now it just won't work. I do have a cold. I've been fighting off, I think it's whooping cough, for about 15 days now. I hope I'm at the very tail end of it. But I keep putting this off. I keep putting off just going live and or making a video. I do have some ideas for a channel. I probably have close to, I'm going to say about 40 stories that I'd like to tell. Things that have happened in my life. And as I get older, I'm starting to forget some of these things. So I figured if I just put it into a video and just talk about it. You guys could give me some feedback, or, you know, maybe you like it, or you want me to keep going, or you want to hear more, you know, more details about the issue or the story. Apologies for coughing. Another thing I'd like to accomplish with this channel is I have some very bad habits that I'd like to break myself of. And if you watch as much YouTube as I do, I watch a ton of creators. If you're picky like I am in the way that people speak, it really bothers me when people constantly say and like and you know. These are habits that I have, and I'd like to work on not doing that anymore. So I figured if I made videos and I spoke, it would make me more cognizant of this bad habit, right? I'm going to just mess with this thing again. So instead of saying or I'm going to stop speaking. And I find that if I just slow down a little bit and take that pause, that I can group my thoughts together more cohesively and get out what I want to say. I am not a natural speaker. I took public speaking in college, and I was so absolutely frightened to get up in front of people. But I do mutter to myself throughout the day and just talk about whatever to myself, like thinking out loud kind of thing. So I figured this would be kind of like a natural progression for me. Oh, now it worked. Okay, I'm going to flip it back over again. I hope to add a video element to this. I'd really like to learn how to use Streamlabs or StreamYard or one of those, but I'm not very technical. I need to be able to sit down, turn it on, and have everything magically work. I don't need technical issues. I don't have anybody to call. I'm not savvy. I only half understand how all this works. And I know there's 16-year-old kids out there with, you know, fantastic channels, and they're doing all this great stuff, and they're, you know, they got all this production of music and everything. 16-year-olds have the time to do those things. They have all day to do nothing, right? Adults, we don't really have that kind of time. You got kids, you got family, you got a job. I have maybe an hour. I need an hour to have everything work great, right? Oh, I didn't even play my theme song. Hold on. I do have a theme song. Let me get this thing. I've only recently learned how to play and sing. Let's see. All right, here we go. I'll try not to be too loud. All right, ready? Oh, I gotta get my music. I have it written down. I bought a glockenspiel, and I wrote a little theme song. Hold on. Listen. Okay, ready? Oh. Who's the girl who always... Who's the girl who never picks up her phone? Who's the girl who's always at home? Who's the girl who loves to bitch and moan? Well, her name is... Well, her name is M-U-B-B-O. M-U-B-B-O. All right. Well, her name is M-U-B-B-O. That's me, Mumbo. That's my theme song. It will get better. It took me a long time to try to play and sing. I'm not very good at it. I'm not very musical. 1 minute. This is going to get old really fast. You know, I thought this thing would last longer than just constantly flipping over. I know it looks like crap. I really would like to add a video element. Maybe just have a simple background. I also have some documents I want to share on screen. I'm going to have to just learn how to do this. Excuse me. I'm not going to be on camera. There's no need for it. There really isn't any reason for you to see what I look like. And you're going to be incredibly disappointed anyway. If you guys remember the streamer called Dream, he was a Minecraft streamer. He has a server or something, and like his big thing was, oh, I'm going to do a face reveal, and everybody's tuning in to see his face reveal. And then he did his face reveal, and the collective internet was like, yeah, okay, alrighty. Well, the amount of disappointment that you felt at Dream will pale in comparison to the disappointment you will feel at seeing me. So, before I get to what this channel is, what I hope it will be, and what it definitely isn't, let's talk about the name of the channel. I gotta flip it over. The name of this channel is Magnanimous Mubbo. What the heck is a mubbo, right? A mubbo is something I refer to myself as. My son refers to me as Mubbo. My beloved refers to me as Mubbo. But what is it? My son watches a lot of YouTube also. And there's a streamer out there named Tommy in it. Yes, Tommy in it. Tommy Innit is a streamer from England. And he likes Jay Schlatt, which I do too. I like Jay. But Tommy has this way of delivering things, and he yells a lot, and it bugs me. I don't like streamers that like yell and like get really, they overact. And if you watch YouTube, you can name like 50 off like the top of your head, right? So Tommy Innit has a friend named Tubbo, and they were playing a game together, and they were talking about what their mother's name would be if you took like the letter M and then put it at the beginning of the name, right? So Tommy's mom's name would be Mommy, right? So Tubbo's mommy name would be Mubbo. And I heard Mubbo, and I'm like, oh, Mubbo, I really like Mubbo. I think I'm going to call myself Mubbo, just for like a joke, you know. Oh, damn it. I said, hold on. You know is one of those things. Okay, here's you know. You said you. Wait, I gotta get it. You said again, you dummy. You said again. I have to stop saying this thing is annoying. This works so good. And now look at it. Look at what is this even supposed to be? It's supposed to be a sand sculpture. Look at it. It looks like everything's melting. It doesn't look pretty at all. I'm going to have to come up with a plan for this. So what about Magnanimous? Magnanimous is actually kind of a funny story. Hopefully it's funnier than the Mobo story. My beloved and I, this was years ago. My beloved and I loved to watch Bugs Bunny cartoons. And we were watching this cartoon with Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. And it was the cartoon where Daffy was drawing mustaches on pictures. And Porky Pig played a police officer. And Porky was constantly trying to arrest Daffy Duck. It's a great cartoon. And in one scene, Daffy is arrested and says to the judge, "Have mercy on me," something to this effect. "Don't send me to sing, 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 sing." And then Daffy says, "Be magnanimous." And I turn to my beloved and I say, "What does magnanimous mean? I've never heard that word." And my beloved says, "It means to be the bigger person. Take the high road." I says, "Oh, magnanimous." So you know what? That's going to be my new word. That's going to be my word that I am going to work into my vocabulary, magnanimous. Now, this is back in the 90s. Before the whole Pixar didn't happen, before you got to show the receipts, like it wasn't even crossing my mind that maybe 30 years from this day, someone's going to ask me, "Where's your receipts?" You're just going to have to take my word for this. We ordered Chinese food that very night. Get done with our meal. Get to the fortune cookie. I don't like fortune cookies, but I like to open them and read them. And the first two words in that fortune cookie were "be magnanimous." And I couldn't believe it. I had never heard of that word. And then now here it is. So when I started this channel, I knew I wanted it to be Mubbo, but I'm like, I need another M word. I need like a snappy M word. And I looked up descriptive words beginning with M, and there was magnanimous, and I forgot about it. All right, magnanimous Mubbo. It means something to me. It doesn't really mean something in the grand scheme of things, in the realm of the universe. It's just something that means something to me. Oh, this thing is making me so mad. So let's talk about what I would like the channel to be, and what it's definitely not going to be. So you can see in my thumbnail, I tried to pick all the things I didn't want this channel to be, and I tried to put it all in one AI image. I don't know about you guys, but I love AI art. Like, I could just play around with that for hours and just come up with like these just batshit crazy things that this AI, like, what does the AI think I'm trying to say? And I think that that's the beauty of it. Like, how does the human mind tell a computer, this is what I'm thinking of? And it's not as easy as you might think it is. Like, you think you're putting in the right descriptors, and then you get like this thing that you didn't ask for at all. It's like, okay, well, I need to change the way that I think, change the way I describe it, because my human mind is thinking differently than the way the AI thinks, right? I'll be right back. Hold on. So I have a list here of things that I'm hoping this channel will be, and things it's not going to be, right? All right. This channel is friendly conversation and intelligent content for critical thinkers. I hope. There will be no rage bait. No drama, not much. Maybe so. No yelling or screaming. You know, you have kids. I just said, you said again, you dummy. When you have kids and they're young and they're running around the house and they're yelling and screaming and they're carrying on and they're wrecking everything, and you say, why don't you settle down and watch some nice TV? The very last thing you want them to do is put on a YouTube creator that is also screaming, just, oh my God, did you see? I just got that. Oh my God. I can't stand that. The amount of overacting and the accomplishment doesn't match what you're getting excited about. I think that's the issue. Trying to overact your achievement. All right. No overacting. No yelling or screaming. No mystery boxes. I won't be opening anything. No countdowns. Here's my top 10 favorite laundry detergents. You won't believe number 5. It's bad. You know those? And then in the background, there's like a picture of a hospital. It's bad. No clickbait. No pog faces. No trashing or hate, unless it's about myself. Oh boy, is there going to be that. No production value to start. And no fun. Who wrote that? There will be true crime, some, if it's pertinent to a story that I'm telling, and internet goings on. Some drama that I want to talk about. Some things that are current and in the news. If I can find the time to talk about it, because things move so quickly. You know, there's some, damn it, I said again. There is something going on with Scientology right now, and a person named Aaron Smith Levin. I keep calling him Adam. And I've been wanting to give my opinion on what's been going on for quite some time. But I have to do this intro first. I've seen many creators, as I've said, do fantastic things with their channel. Great production, intro music, song and dance, and things like that. And then there's some creators that don't do anything. It's just the camera and them. And I've thought about doing that, but I think for me, if I'm sitting there looking into a camera, I'm more likely to fill the time with and because you have to say something. Everyone's looking at you. You have to fill those spaces. So with me, I think it's easier to have the empty space. So this is an intro. I'm hoping that some people will be interested in hearing my stories. Sorry. There's also going to be some special content for subscribers only. I have it here somewhere. Oh, okay. So some subscriber only content will be, I did some freelance work for survivors of Jonestown, which was a cult back in the 70s. And you might remember them for their mass suicide, in quotations. Those people were absolutely murdered. And you can go on YouTube and listen to the tapes and all that. But I did some freelance work for them, transcribing FOIA tapes from the FBI. Under the FOIA Act, I should say. And then the transcriptions were uploaded to the website. So I'd like to talk about some things to do with Jonestown. Also, I was thinking about reading my journal. I started a journal in 2010. Just goings on, daily things. And I thought it would be fun to kind of read what I was doing that day versus like what was going on in the world. Because you might not think 15 years is a long time for a journal, but it kind of is. You think about a kid who's 15 years old, he's now 30. You know, if you think about it in those terms, you know, I'm in my 50s now, so I was in my 30s when I started it. I thought that would be kind of interesting, but those are like more personal things, so I think I'm going to make that for subscribers. My eldest son had a pretty bad accident that I also kept a journal on for 30 days when he was in the ICU, and I thought it would be interesting to read the hospital paperwork day by day of like what they were seeing versus what I was seeing and what I was going through and during that time. And I also wrote a screenplay that was written after my uncle's murder in 2011. I was working a job where I could do a lot of it just on autopilot. It was just like straight data entry for 9 hours a day or whatever. And I think I don't know if I want to say in shock or something, but my brain just wasn't right. And usually I have a lot of noise in my brain. It's just like, like constantly. But during this time, this couple of days, I had nothing in my head at all. Nothing. It was just completely empty. And then I started hearing this conversation of two characters that were talking. And it's the weirdest thing. I've never had it happen again, but I wrote it from that point where I started hearing the characters to the end in my head. And then the next day I came back in and I figured out, well, how did they get to that point? How did they get to that conversation? And then I wrote it in my head. And I kept thinking about it and obsessing about it and fleshing out these characters. And so I figured that I would write it down. I haven't done anything with it. I wrote it down longhand and then I did type it up. It is based in the Harry Potter world. I don't know if you call it a fan fiction. It's more like a shoot off. Like Harry Potter doesn't appear anywhere in it. And I kind of started going with it as if you ever seen that movie Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, it tells a story of two characters named Rosencrantz and Guildenstern and what they're doing as the main actors are off like doing their part. And that's kind of how I started looking at this. I had these two characters and what were they doing as the principals were doing the Harry Potter thing? Like all of these, like you see Harry Potter and Hermione and Ron, but all of these other people still exist and they're living their life as Harry Potter is doing his thing. So what are they up to? What are they doing? So this is kind of how it came into play and how I wrote it. So I think I would like to read it because it's just sitting in a box right now with nothing. And I haven't looked at it since I typed it up. So when I read it, it will be brand new to me as well. 2011, it was around when my uncle was murdered. So it's been over 10 years. So I thought that would kind of be fun. Anyway, I guess I'm trying to think if I have anything else I want to talk about right now, but no. So I will get to my next video. It will probably be an Aaron Smith Levin video, not that long. And then we can go from there, and I'll just start crossing all these stories off of my list until I get them all down. Thanks for listening. This is Mofo. MUBBO.